Hello, my beautiful movie peeps. Thank you so much for stopping by. Let's talk about some movie news. Some of the things we'll be discussing here today, guys, is we got the first trailer for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. We got an unfortunate accident that happened on the set of Spider-Man 4, injuring Tom Holland. Some merchandise that was given to crew members who worked on Avengers Doomsday, revealing our first look at the costumes with a lot of the heroes. Really, that alone so much more, so you guys know the drill. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, comment down below, and I need suggestions for costumes this Spook Your Mama season, whether for live streams or for the side flicks. Please let me know what you'd like me to be in. All right, so let's jump into our first movie news story here with the trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu, the first big theatrical Star Wars movie after a long gap since Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. And for me personally, although I'm just a casual Star Wars fan, I think The Mandalorian is the one thing that Disney has been making ever since they've owned Star Wars that's kind of been the coolest thing. So my excitement for this was pretty up there to see what they would do, and I don't want to be mean, but that was a really underwhelming trailer. Of course, it's just a teaser trailer, and it's meant to do just that. It's kind of just tease you. But I was watching this, and I was thinking to myself, if you would have told me this was a trailer for season 4 of The Mandalorian, I'd 100% believe you, because there's not much of a distinction from what The Mandalorian looked like on Disney Plus to now this big theatrical jump. And that is the era we live in now. TV shows are made with movie money. And that line didn't used to be so blurred. It used to be if a TV show was getting a movie, oh, you'd notice the jump to movie because the budget was up, it looked higher quality, things were lit better, and there was so much production value added. Like, this really does feel like a couple of episodes of The Mandalorian strung together. But you know, I was trying to be honest with myself and go, well, okay, I'm just a casual fan. Maybe I'm missing something huge. Maybe having Jabba the Hutt's son in there, played by Jeremy Allen White, is making Star Wars fans go crazy, and there's things going on in this teaser trailer I'm just not picking up on. So I turned to all my movie mutuals to see their reactions. They're just disappointed as I am. Most of the reactions I'm seeing online, even from the diehard Star Wars fans, is that they were also underwhelmed and kind of confused why this was decided to be the big return for Star Wars in theaters. They echo a lot of the same thoughts I was having about the production value not really looking that much different from Disney Plus. And I think it speaks again to how Disney has oversaturated the brand on streaming. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that when this trailer starts playing on TV, on the internet, wherever casual people will catch it, they're gonna think this is just another Disney Plus project, and I do think it could impact the box office. Now again, that doesn't mean all hope is lost for this movie. I do just think this was not the best trailer to start off with to kick off the marketing for this movie. I'm still looking forward to it. People think just because I say I'm a casual fan, I hate Star Wars, I'm never interested in anything Star Wars. Not true at all. I'm hoping for the best with this. I just think they put together kind of a meh trailer. Hopefully the next one, though, really highlights why this needed to be a theatrical release movie and not just another season on Disney Plus. Let me know what you guys thought about the trailer for The Mandalorian and how you're feeling on it. Moving on here, giving a quick little update with the Mario Galaxy movie. You guys know months ago we had that leak of the Old Spice where everyone in the Mario community thought it was fake and whatnot. We just kind of ignored it until it was proven to be real and it actually is a Mario Galaxy movie we're getting. Well, now it's making me be a little bit more open to some of the leaks coming out, and it looks like we might have gotten the plot for Super Mario Galaxy that reveals the 2 villains in the film. So this is coming from Cinemark's website in Chile that posted a lengthy synopsis of the movie. I still say take it with a grain of salt, but there have been other things coming out that kind of back up the plot with this movie. So let's just kind of go into it. The rumored plot goes, after receiving the key to Brooklyn for saving their home, Mario and Luigi enjoy life as heroes for the first time, but the celebration soon attracts an old acquaintance, Wario, a former coworker who, blinded by greed, is willing to do anything to steal their glory. What begins as a dispute on Earth soon connects to a greater danger. Bowser Jr., Bowser's son, has secretly emerged and taken control of the mysterious center of the universe with a plan that threatens to expand the Koopa Empire far beyond the Mushroom Kingdom. To stop him, the brothers embark on a journey through strange worlds alongside Peach, Yoshi, and Princess Rosalina, who must protect her twinkles before they are consumed by darkness. Each step reveals more dangerous evidence, and a black market for forbidden stars will lead them to confront the truth they never imagined. I'm gonna stop right there. There's still one more paragraph, but that's a lot to read, so let's just kind of digest that right there. We had actually heard about a week or two back that the villain for this movie would be Bowser Jr. and Wario. Talk about an interesting pairing. I would have thought, you know, Wario and Waluigi, or just Bowser Jr. on his own. Having Wario and Bowser Jr. as the two villains, it's not who would I've thought to be together, but okay, I like that, especially wondering who they're gonna have as Wario. You gotta get Danny DeVito, right? Like, how do you not make Danny DeVito Wario? But the Bowser Jr. part is heavily backed up. There have been supposed toy leaks and other descriptions of Bowser Jr. as part of the marketing. And I mean, if Old Spice was preparing their merchandise, their logos, pretty safe to assume toys for this movie are in production, because I bet that's one thing that sold a lot with the Mario movie is all the toys. Fans right now are mostly fan casting Kevin Hart as Bowser Jr., and I know that might turn some heads, but I love the idea of Kevin Hart voicing Bowser Jr. I feel like that would fit into this crazy voice casting world they've already set up. I'm okay with that. I even like the idea of Wario being an old co-worker. Feels like that actually kind of fits within this universe. But not everything is in their hands. 7 elite Koopa hunters have been unleashed, one for each corner of the galaxy, and their mission is simple: make sure no one can challenge the new order that Bowser Jr. intends to establish. The Koopa Hunters are characters from the video game, and making them these kind of bounty hunters that come from a different planet that we'll explore in Mario Galaxy, I think is a lot of fun. What I'm most curious is how they plan to explain the Bowser Jr. lore, because that's something I don't think is very much touched upon in the video games or even outside media. I'd really like to know how the movie addresses Bowser randomly has an evil son trying to rule the galaxy, and like, how come you're not freeing your father? Probably because he was a deadbeat, right? Bowser seems like a deadbeat dad. So, just in the sake of not trying to ignore another leak that'll end up becoming true, I thought I'd share this with you guys. What do you make of some of these details and the possible villains for Super Mario Galaxy? Next up here, we got some DC updates thanks to James Gunn. He took it upon himself today to reveal the front page of the Superman sort of sequel with the image of an interior anatomy of a guy's head. Fans taking that to basically mean this kind of confirms Brainiac will be the villain for Man of Tomorrow, like many of us have speculated, since dude with the brain is on the front page. You know, I took some examining, analyzing, and what I found might shock you guys. Show it. Show it. Joking aside, though, yeah, I think this could pretty much confirm Brainiac. I'm still not 100% sure on that, because we know James Gunn sometimes likes to do the weird thing, and that's not a bad thing. It's just the unexpected stuff. I feel like this is the first time fans are genuinely predicting what'll happen with this movie. Like, we saw those first look photos of the comic renders, and we were like, oh, a team-up movie between Superman and Lex. And although I thought the same thing, I was like, oh, maybe that's too obvious. James Gunn doesn't like to do the obvious, but then he was like, no, it is a Superman and Lex team-up movie. I was like, oh, okay. And now with this photo of a man with a brain, I'm like, okay, will it be Brainiac? We're all thinking Brainiac, but maybe because we're all thinking that, it's not gonna be that. I have no problem with maybe James Gunn just kind of delivering something fans would definitely like. I was even kind of taken back that James Gunn had described the tone of Man of Tomorrow being different than Superman, which probably is why he doesn't consider it a sequel, where he says, James Gunn says Man of Tomorrow will be less comic booky than Superman. The film has to do with the dual character of Lex and Superman at the center. Again, something I'm not opposed. I loved all the comic bookiness of Superman. I thought it actually worked, and it dove us headfirst into the DCU, but if you want to tell a kind of more serious story and let some of those comic booky things step to the side a bit, I'm down for that too, especially with a villain like Brainiac, because that's just perfect, you know? Lex Luthor thinks of himself as smarter than anything. If this giant, big alien guy comes in trying to challenge him on an intellectual level, that's gonna be a great challenge for Lex, and you know, Superman can be there punching stuff. But yeah, like I said, the only thing holding me back from like feeling 100% it's Brainiac is just James Gunn just doesn't like to do the obvious thing, you know? But if he does this time, Not gonna be mad at him. As a small aside, James Gunn also let us know that the story for Batman Brave and the Bold is going good, with saying, James Gunn says they now have a really good story now prepared for Batman Brave and the Bold. You know, since Batman Day passed, I was really hoping we'd get some sort of big reveal from James Gunn or Matt Reeves, but we didn't. It was just an acknowledgement of the day. But now kind of really settling in, these are two different universes and we're getting our own DCU Batman. I want to know who it is. I know James Gunn also just said in an interview that he talked to a big A-list actor that thought about it, and this led the internet to think it's the fan cast I've been saying since the beginning with DCU Batman on who I would want, Jake Gyllenhaal. And it was just finally nice to not see no Brandon Sklenar, no Alan Ritchson. Jake Gyllenhaal would be the best DCU Batman, man. Let me know what you guys think about with some of these DC updates. Moving on now, talking about some Spider-Man Brand New Day. This was kind of scary news when this popped up on my feed yesterday. We had a really scary report coming out right out the gate that basically said Tom Holland cracked his head open, rushed to the hospital, and that he would not be filming Spider-Man Brand New Day for a while. And again, just reading that, I got really concerned for Tom, man. I was like, bro, that's insane. I can't imagine what they're doing on that movie that caused him to have an injury like that. I hope he's all right. And as more articles and things started to come out, not to downplay his injury, because it looks like Tom Holland still got hurt enough to go to the hospital, it seemed more like a mild concussion, a temporary setback for him. And even the next day after the injury, he attended an in-person event in London where he's photographed here looking perfectly fine, but filming on Spider-Man 4 is still going to be paused for Tom Holland for a bit. So, okay, before we continue on with the rest of this story, I still want to make clear Tom Holland's health and his well-being is the most important part and the thing I'm happy about with this story. It again just highlights the dangers behind this movie and why I'm glad the Oscars are finally recognizing stunt performers. Because although it's been debunked that a stunt performer was also injured, it was just Tom Holland. Tom was still performing a stunt that led to an injury, all for our entertainment. So again, glad it's good. But with this injury, something came to light, the possible delay of Spider-Man Brand New Day. We had here in the article, it said, The Hollywood Reporter added to this news, indicating that Sony was behind on filming for the Spider-Man sequel before this injury. While nobody else is injured, Sony is expected to hold a meeting on Monday, September 22nd, to decide how to move forward with the production in the wake of this incident. And again, it's one of those things that once we found out when they were going to start filming Spider-Man Brand New Day and when the release date of this movie was, which was early summer next year, the math wasn't mathing for me. And I thought, I feel like they're going to have to delay it with like how close everything is coming. And the article was saying here, even before this injury occurred and Tom Holland had to stop filming for a few days, they were already behind. They weren't on track to meet the deadlines they needed to get this movie released. And now with this injury, really does not look like they'll meet those deadlines. And again, while emphasizing that's not the important part or the thing we should really care about, it's still the well-being of Tom Holland. It's still a point I thought I'd bring up and talk with you guys. The possible delay for Spider-Man Brand New Day could be happening, and if it occurs, totally fine, because Tom needs his rest, and the production, VFX people, all that need the time to make this movie good. A lot is riding on this film, and all the comments Tom has been making about it has just gotten me so excited. I know he said some comments about like the inspiration for his new suit is definitely paying homage to Toby and Andrew. I love that. Along with Tom Holland saying this, it really feels like we aren't making the fourth movie. We're making the first movie in the chapter. This is a rebirth. This is something completely new. So I'd rather them not rush it just to meet a release date, you know? So all the best for Tom Holland and the production team behind this. And actually, right before I hit upload on this video, there was a small little update to this story. Deadline is now reporting that the Monday meeting with Sony went good and they're just gonna take a week break with Tom Holland and that it will not affect the release date they currently have. So even with the reports of them being behind schedule and this, it looks like Sony still feels confident they can get the movie released on time. Good to know. It was honestly just scary reading the headline, Tom Holland cracked his head open, and you're like, you envision some of the worst stuff imagining that. How do you guys feel about the reports with Tom Holland getting injured on Spider-Man Brand New Day? Moving on, we got one of our first big leaks for Avengers Doomsday that isn't really a leak. It was actually let out on purpose, which I think is funny. We now know that Avengers Doomsday has wrapped filming, at least the major parts. We know reshoots will be around the corner in the next like month or two. But with that, crew members already had a party for the wrapping, and as tradition, they were given some merchandise for their work on the film, One of them included this handbag that has stitched up a lot of the major players in Avengers Doomsday, where again, you think this is a leak that maybe wasn't supposed to get out, that they were supposed to just keep it to themselves. The person who leaked this says that they were allowed to show this to the people. So it's okay for us to look at it, and it reveals to us our first look at Scott Summers' Cyclops in his 90s suit. Yeah! Oh, we knew it was gonna happen. I mean, looking at all the X-Men suits in here, from Gambit, Mystique, they are all wearing comic-accurate suits. And with the job they just did in Deadpool and Wolverine, it seemed like a given. But man, after waiting for Cyclops to rock that outfit in live action, I cannot wait to see it, because it looks like they could. Beautiful, even though it's just in stitched-up form. If we want to look at some of the other characters that look like they have notable different suits, for one, people are talking about Thor and his new outfit. Looks like he's getting gold circles on the suit, but a lot of people are just talking about we're gonna have short-haired Thor back. Pretty interesting, and I don't mind it. I kind of really like short-haired Thor. I just want to know the explanation behind that, because some people forget short-haired Thor is just a carryover thing that happened from the Stan Lee cameo in Thor Ragnarok, and Thor seems to be really about his long hair, so I wonder what made him cut it. I was disappointed when I saw Anthony Mackie's suit, because I was hoping they'd go back to the blue and white suit, but it looks like it's the carryover suit from Brave New World. That's fine. People are saying this is a different Ant-Man suit. I'm not noticing a difference, but okay. The Fantastic Four are all wearing a slightly different variation of their suits from their movie. Honestly, they're just wearing jackets. I'm not sure if this is part of their flight suits. Maybe this is like their lab coats if they're doing some sort of experiment. I don't mind the Fantastic Four getting new swag. I think all the outfit choices with the Fantastic Four have been really good, so them having jackets, yeah, no problem. And I guess since I was talking about the Fantastic Four, let me talk about the person in the very corner, because a lot of people thought this was a little girl, when no. It's Franklin Richards, the child of Reed and Sue, and judging by the post-credits scene of Fantastic Four, pretty much feels like Franklin is going to be a big part of this movie and Doctor Doom's plan. Actually, going back to Doctor Doom, this design, knowing it's officially from Avengers Doomsday, confirms the design that we saw leaked just a few weeks ago from the merchandising expo in China, because this Doctor Doom appears to have the same emblems of Thor's hammer and Captain Marvel's symbol. This is something I really haven't talked about that is going to be a fascinating thing for them to explain in Avengers Doomsday, because people are also saying on the actual design, it looks like he also has Shang-Chi's 10 rings. So is Doctor Doom's power set just made up of collecting abilities from different Avengers? That would be insanely unique. And it makes me wonder then, did this Doom go and kill a bunch of other Avengers in different multiverses? Because how else did he get the Thor, Captain Marvel, and Shang-Chi 10 rings? Another big costume change is Namor. It looks like he's rocking the suit from the Ultimate Comics. I like that look for him. Right above him is M'Baku. That was another character that people are like, who the heck is this guy? But that's M'Baku from Black Panther. People are debating up here whether that's Magneto or Star-Lord. I'm gonna guess it's Magneto since it's right above Charles Xavier. And yeah, I know some people might want to bring up the other supposed leak that was going around online. I have a hard time believing whether this one is legit or not. Like, yes, it kind of looks real, but then it also looks very phony. And if we are believing this leak is real, that Magneto suit doesn't match this Magneto suit that we're assuming. So I'm not going to pay too much attention to this, and I think this was cooler to look at anyways. But yeah, really interesting things. I want to know from you guys, what do you make of some of these first looks? And how was Marvel okay with just showing off the first look at Cyclops through a little crew member leak? Honestly, just goes to show me they're going to show off all these costumes in the first trailer, which that's going to make me buy 10 tickets right away. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this. Anyways, guys, that is all movie news we currently have going on right now. I want to thank you so much for taking time my day to watch me talk some movie news. And don't be forgetting to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.